So you're listening to KKUP Cupertino 91.5 FM. This is Rachelle Escamilla, aka Poetita, here to talk to you about some poetry. But I'm not going to do the talking tonight. I have guests in the house. We have Kimy Martinez and
Joe Miller.
Nice, Joe.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey. So, Kimy, you were here last week telling us
Yes.
about this amazing thing that you're doing for CineQuest. So,
Yes.
remind the listeners about what's going on.
Sure, Rochelle, and thank you for having us back here.
Of course.
So the event is with the CineQuest Film Festival that's coming up pretty soon. The opening night is February 27th, I believe, is opening night, and it goes all the way until March 11th. And in that time, there is an event called Poets and Film. And that is March 8th at 7 p.m. And we have about 8 different poets that are poet performers that will be presenting their work. Me and Bill Cozini will be the MCs. And there are 2 films that will be played, short films. One is Unspoken by about Farah Shamma, if I'm pronouncing it right, Chamma, and she's a young poet. And then the other one is Joe Brainerd's I Remember, and it's a beautiful piece. A movie, short. It's just a beautiful piece. I got to see some of the footage.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, so you've been working on this so
Yes.
hard. So what is the
Rehearsals.
process? Yeah. So what is
Rehearsals. Lots of
because this is not just a normal poetry reading. This is
That's
a
right.
performance.
No, it's a performance. So if you are into theatrical events, and poetry, this would be something for you. It is poets coming together and making their poetry alive, basically. We have, Bill and I have been working on a piece and which involves a sex robot and James Damore's Google's ideological echo chamber, and we have put that into our characters, and it's a poem that I wrote, and it's very theatrical. We have 2 musicians too, and a special guest musician that will be part of the performance. We also have a wonderful vocalist, Lena Nelson, that is going to be joining me for one of my poems as well.
She was here last week.
That's right.
She was fantastic.
Oh, she's amazing. Amazing.
Really amazing.
Young talent. Very incredible. And she works very hard. Very hard.
And last week we also had the president of CineQuest on the show.
That's right, Houghton Hussey, yes. So this program we're going in our 2nd year, and it's a collaboration with San Jose State Read Magazine and CineQuest. And with Kathleen Miller, who is the chief and editor at Read Magazine, was very excited when I presented this possible opportunity. I had spoke with Houghton. I ran the idea by him. Hey, let's do like this poet performance night with San Jose State, and they both agreed to it. And because they are both open to new things and innovation, this thing happened. So this event happened, and so it was successful the first year, and we're going into our 2nd year. And it's just going to be great. We are going to be at below 3, which used to be camera 3.
Okay.
And they renovated the space.
Okay.
So it's a real theatrical theater. They have.
That's in downtown, right?
That's downtown on 2nd Street.
Okay.
Joe, do you know the cross street?
Yeah, with San Carlos.
San Carlos, thank you. I always forget that street. I don't remember saying it.
It's on that little. Oh yeah, I know. where that is.
It's below or next to a parking garage, so it's
structure.
very convenient.
But that's what it's below, I guess, is the parking garage.
Yeah, 3 below.
It's
There you go.
3rd Street parking garage.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Hey, words, how they work.
I know.
But anyway, the venue is just, they've made it it's just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
They have real theatrical lights, a real stage, a sound board, so that it's
So it's going to be a show.
yeah, a real show. So I'm very excited.
That is really
We all
exciting.
are.
That's really exciting.
We have great poets too. Asha is, she was just featured in Content Magazine,
Okay.
and she's a, help me here, what kind of poet is she? She is a...
Well, she's more sort of, I hate to say a
Slam.
slam poet,
She's
really,
a
because
slam poet.
because that's like, so particular in people's minds, but she's a really, really
But
fun
she's
Well,
poet,
diverse.
yeah, but-
She's
Yeah.
really
But
But she
well.
comes out of that tradition, yeah.
Yeah, she comes
Right.
out of it. She's originally from LA.
Okay.
So she's charmed San Jose and is very doing, she's a revolutionist.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Well, it's
Revolutionary
not,
poet, I like that
Yes,
better.
yeah.
yes, a revolutionary poet. She also Mighty Mike McGee, who has just been crowned a Santa Clara Poet Laureate.
Oh.
Yes,
The
just
crown
like
has
last
been
week.
passed.
Yes, that's right. No more Arlene Fiala, although we'll miss her, and she
Yeah.
certainly will be around.
Around.
She's a great supporter of poetry and poets in the community. But Mighty Mike McGee takes the stage,
Wow.
and if you've ever seen him, oh boy, he's a treat.
You know
so
what?
we're excited to have him.
I have heard his name so many times, and maybe he's heard
And
my
you
name,
have-
but we have never.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think so. So.
Okay, well, if you go to any poetry event in
Uh-huh.
San Jose,
He'll be
he's
there.
probably running it.
Or at least,
or emceeing it.
Yeah, at least in the open mic as
Yes.
it was last night at
Yeah.
Mark's.
Yes, there you
well
go.
read.
Yes,
We haven't met
he
him.
is. Yeah, he is definitely out there, and he's doing a great job
That's good.
as a poet. And I'm certainly he'll be fantastic as the poet laureate
That's great.
in the next 2 years.
It's amazing
So-
to hear people that we've been working with. I know I've been working in the poetry community. I've come in and out over the years, but it's amazing to hear these names and to see them like move through the space of poetry in San Jose. It's really
right.
exciting.
It is exciting. You stick with it. You go places, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Who else do you have on the show?
Well, I'm excited about. We also have the musician Justin Imamura.
Uh-huh.
Imamura. It's always hard for me to
That's
pronounce,
okay.
but
That's okay.
he is a drummer, and he's just an incredible person. He's been featured in Drum Magazine, for instance. He's in a band called the Pounders, who also has been featured, I think, a couple times in Content Magazine. And he will be playing the cajon, which is, if people don't know what a cajon is, it looks like a box that you sit on and you do sit on and you pound on it. And if you know how to pound, you make beautiful music like Justin does.
He was here last week.
Yeah, he was here last week, and he does also he did the street drum corps and I think he still does it. And he's actually toured with like Linkin Park through that, and
Wow.
30 Seconds to Mars, and also with the late Chris Cornell.
Okay.
So he's really traveled a bit and seen a lot. And he does this wonderful thing in San Jose. He kind of cleans up San Jose with his organization that he created called, Punks, the Trash Punks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like he literally cleans up San Jose.
Yeah, he gets,
I was like,
yeah,
he just
literally.
He doesn't like cut
Yeah, I know,
through
right?
and sweep through and clean it up. Like, he
Metaphorically, through his drumming.
No, he uses his hands and he puts on
He
his
actually
shoes.
uses his hand, yes, and
There's
he
a
gets
trash bag.
he gets volunteers together, and it's just a great thing. So I love talking about Justin because he's a great guy. I mean, I remember the first time I met him, I'm like, he's not real. Because he's so positive. Like, really.
Impossible.
It's like, that's impossible. That's impossible. He's so happy and positive. But that's him. That's his nature.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing. And then we have Nicole, who's she is part of the invasive species group. It's a new poet performance group that I created, and she's amazing. She's been in some films that I've done, and she's just a natural, and she's a natural performer. So
Nice.
we're really excited about that. And then again, Bill Cazzini.
He was here last week.
Yeah, he was here last week. He's gonna MC with me, and
That's great.
he's so fun. So we've been like meeting every week, going over our routine and stuff. We're very jazzed about it.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I'm really excited to hear. I can't wait to go, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what happens in the future as we move forward.
Yeah, well, I hope you're going to be with us next year,
I
right?
know,
If it continues, right?
Yes. This year I fell through the cracks, but next year I'm hoping to show.
Yeah.
For sure. So why don't we listen to some poetry from
Joe Miller, who's
Yeah,
another
Joe.
poet that's going to be in Poets and Film.
Nice. Joe, do you want to tell us about yourself? Or you
Do
just
I
want
want to? I don't know.
Joe's
Well,
amazing.
mostly I'm known more as like a designer and as a art as running Works San Jose, like an art space.
He's
And,
the president of an art organization called Works San Jose, it's been running since 40 years, right?
Yeah, this is our 41st. Well, not with me, but yeah.
Well, you've been there quite
I
a while.
wouldn't believe it if you said you were. Yeah.
You've been there since the 1980s?
Yeah,
Or
30
at least
years for
involved,
me, actually,
yeah.
mostly as designer, but
Yeah,
now
right.
now helping to run the place.
But the Works has a poetry series that happens, right? You guys have poetry that
Yeah.
goes
That's
on
right.
there.
Yeah.
That's
So
right, that's
every
through-
second Tuesday, it's called Well Read, and it's programmed by Poetry Center San Jose, and then we've got an open mic after a couple of features, and so that's kind of a fun one to come out if you want to try new poetry out on a crowd, and then we've got Flash Fiction Forum also every other month that comes in on the second Wednesday every month.
And the co-founder of that is Lita Kurth, who will be also
She's
doing
performing
Poets
too, yeah.
and Film. Yeah,
Nice,
she'll be performing
nice.
as well.
Yeah, and then in my spare time, then I teach design at San Jose State. So yeah.
Nice.
Very full
Nice.
life.
As we all, I mean, we're all like, how tired we are.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we don't stop. Poets don't stop, yo.
No.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Here and there a poem. Yeah.
Here and there. Oh.
Everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. The poet's life is so diverse, and mostly because we're poor.
Yeah, a lot of what I've done in poetry is more performative, like with projections and that sort of thing that I got into many years ago, and
So-
working it together with sound and images.
Joe is a true performance artist. Performance art really hit it big, like in the 90s, right? Early 90s. late
Yeah, we had
80s.
Dada Fest going on.
Okay, so you
and
would
really
have seen
giant stuff,
Joe
yeah.
doing his thing out in the street.
Yeah, we had some performances, like I think one with one of the largest audiences I had in San Francisco was it's called A Brief Lecture on the Use of the Flag in American Pornography, and so that was probably one of the most popular, about 450 in the audience. That sort of
That's
thing.
nice.
I've heard
Yeah,
about
so,
this event.
So we won't be reading from it.
Not this evening.
We can't now. You know.
But we have the images playing on the wall. Right here.
Getting inspired.
Listeners, you can't see
What
what
we can't say.
All right, take it away, Joe.
All right, this is a little retro future piece. I've got a few of those, but
Nice.
this one's called Future Pops By. So howdy there, sturdy young folk. We're finally having that wing-ding, having that shindig, having that lip-smacking, patty-whacking hardy-har. We're meeting on the median of Frank Lloyd Wright's Butterfly Bridge, wrapping a rechargeable Energy Star electric grill around every chicken, smoking 'em up with mesquite and hash. Laying back on a gushy loofah sofa, she is talking directly to me in some exotic, foreign body language. Giant light blue doughboy splish splash party. Make sure your toenails are trim and dull. Wouldn't want to pop this balloon, at least not while we're all sitting in it. So, I says, may I take your order? I says, hey, may I take your order? What I really stopped by to say is, trust me, trust me with your baby.
Right.
So yeah, just kind of a light little
I don't know, I
sci-fi
have a baby
thing
at
there.
home,
Yeah. I think that was inspired actually by an old Steely Dan song about
Really?
about being in a bunker while the world explodes.
Nice!
Wow.
And, yeah,
I only
just
know
took
the
it
big
from there.
fat cow.
Steely
Right?
Dan.
Is that
The
the
big
one?
fat cow. I don't know.
No, okay.
I don't know that one.
It's a drink.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a Steely Dan song that I just didn't.
Well,
never
I
heard
thought
it.
Steely Dan was something else, but I can't say that on the radio.
Oh.
Oh, no, it was a
Oh.
kind of a mellow rock group, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And not a phallus.
Yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. I did not. I don't know what the.
Well,
I don't
thanks
know what
for
the title
bringing
of
us
the.
there, Rochelle. Okay.
Maybe someone
It's
could call in and tell us what the
It's
title of
Valentine's
that band
Day.
is.
It's Valentine's Day. Y'all out there are supposed to be making babies.
We're here to get you in the mood. It's working.
Creepy sci-fi futuristic poetry about taking your babies and Steely Dan. So let's move forward. You want to do another, and then
Oh,
we'll
sure. Yeah. I see. This. We'll get a little contemplative here, a little bit religious maybe. My mom, she always wanted me to be a priest, and so this is a reading from the book of James. James understands automobiles. He keeps gasoline in a limited edition Bentley aftershave decanter from Avon on the floor just to the left of his Barco lounger. Every once in a while, he reaches down, raises it, and takes a sip. After all, it's fuel from the bladder of Mother Earth. Jim drives, not to get anywhere, but to pay homage to the fact that when the drill bit is reinvented, it'll twist its way down through the crust and squishy sediment to find us. You, me. Jim will be there too, proud to have become a cup of crude for the new world.
Nice.
Yeah, another kind of like, I guess I have some, like both of those to me are sort of post-nuclear Holocaust kind of, pieces there. So yeah, I've often throughout my life imagined that, and maybe now I get to see it, you know.
It's not. You might get to see it. I mean, it's just around the
Sure.
corner. You know, I get it. I'm teaching Octavia Butler's Dawn right now over at CSUMB, and it's like she wakes up and she's in this squishy alien ship, like off of Earth, right? And my students are like, we didn't expect to open the book there. Like, where are you taking us? I'm like, 2 hour space. Like, we're leaving Earth. It's your future.
This is your future.
Yeah. No, I dig it. I dig it. For sure.
Very cool.
For sure. Why don't you read something for us, Kimy?
Oh, sure, Rochelle. So this is from, I just completed a chapbook. I might have mentioned this before. It's called Sister Stalking. And this is I believe it's the first poem. It's called Big Brother. It's when you grow up like a stranger to every eye you look into, you wonder if they are any relation. Did I meet you here at this time before? I have my place on the broken sofa watching Looney Tunes, Pepe Le Pew chasing Penelope Pussycat, switching to Pee-wee and Phil getting high. I know what the mermaid is missing. Mom's never home, I'm the latchkey kid with no latch and clueless without a key. So he opens the door, standing 6'2" with navy black boots, claiming he's related to me. I never knew I had a brother. Nobody stepped up to the position. But I took his word and followed him out the door, out on the vacant road. He says, race me to the dead end. I almost lose when a jolt of sudden speed allows me to win. He says, don't think I let you.
Nice.
Nice. I like that. Kimy sometimes takes me to really dark places.
Sorry.
You're very, you're deceiving, Kimy.
Yeah.
Your name is Kimy, and you're so nice. And then your poetry comes on. I'm like, wait a second, what just happened here?
Everybody has to have a balance in life, right?
Yeah, and the pen is your other side.
Yes, there you go. The
Nice.
pendulum.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to read one more, Kimy, and then we'll
Sure, I have a short one, and then we'll take it to Joe. All right, this is called drama. Drama sticks like hair you've collected on your tongue, tickling down your throat as you tug for it to come up and out, but it never snaps loose from your bowels. It keeps torturing as you pull it. Like a fishing line, it spins around your middle finger, forcing your finger upward and onward and toward those that want to have a word with you, yet the hook remains in the gut, bloody, stretching ache. All you can do is flip them off. My teen years are here.
Good one. Good one.
Wow, growing up with Kimy.
That's it.
Hard.
This is a new podcast. We're moving into a different world now. All right, go ahead, Joe. How about you?
Maybe yeah, we'll stay on this nuclear destruction kind of pathway here.
Yay.
Maybe just sort of one. Haven't
Just for
haven't
Valentine's
broken
Day.
this
Yes,
one
just
out.
for
Yeah,
today.
for a little bit, but it sounds kind of happy. It's called Light. Man, I'm just walking down the street and there's light everywhere. Everywhere there's light. Light bouncing off the sidewalk, light pounding on skin. Festive freckles dance into a purple rash while UV pierces blue eyes and bores holes into wide, wide, wide pink heads. Crowds clap in time to waves of light. Light, bright, bright, eye-watering, bright light. Man, it's bright.
Man. Dang.
I'm feeling
That's,
it.
I know.
It's too bright now.
Yeah, it's
I
too
need to
bright.
get sunglasses.
It's a little depressing for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, here I'll read one about working in Silicon Valley. Here.
Oh,
Oh, well.
wow.
It's called, but it's
That
it's
should
about
lift
working.
your
It's about working in
spirits.
Silicon Valley and a sort of
And post-
populist revolution that I imagined once upon a time.
Okay.
They came together.
I was going to
into
say,
this.
and post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
reality.
Probably. Yeah. It's called This Is What You're Up Against.
Oh, man.
We touch base, we interface, we lock our gears in and embrace your software, my wire hair. You electrify as your lenses stares. So sit down, touch my dial, change my channel, make me smile. Our solid state diode techno-commode flushes lives through plumbing that reaches to the other side of the globe, always to the other side of the globe. North Richmond, East Palo Alto, South Central, West Oakland, those places are on the other side of the globe. You can't see the other side like the back of your head. You never know it's there till it gets whacked really hard. The other side of the globe, it's somewhere out in space. I think it's on Alpha Centauri. I think it's lost in space with Will Robinson and Penny. Can you spare a penny? Hell, you're dropping them on the sidewalk. You're dropping them in cars. Yes, sir, 3 bags full, 1 million bags full. They might add up to something someday, you'd think, but it would take a lot of them. It's gonna take the whole lot of them.
Nice.
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 Hey, you know, I just realized I might have the skateboard that you have some of this poetry on.
That's true, yeah. A lot of
Joe is also
you
an
know,
artist. Yes, he's an amazing artist. Topography is his specialty, right?
typography, right?
Typography.
Did you say topography? Yeah.
I said
that's-
topography.
Which is matchmaking.
Sorry.
Map
You know,
making, right? Yeah.
you know,
Close
matchmaking.
enough, yeah.
It's close enough, you know.
I thought topography. I was like, dang, this guy knows math.
Yeah, really.
I mean, he said he was in design. I didn't know you could design something new from a
You know, maps, letters. Letters are to
Yeah, well,
letters
text-based
are
text-based
maps
art.
to our
Yeah, text-based art. Well, I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah,
kind of
so-
what. That's kind of, I mean, where I think poetry is for me at this point. I really like the idea of like how text sits on white space and what it does when it does that sort of activity.
Yeah.
Which is,
A lot of mine is sandblasted
I see.
into objects and that sort of thing.
well, I don't go that far.
So yeah, so it's
We're
taking,
curious about that.
phrases and yeah.
Getting those words out there. You know?
Like
Yeah.
literally. Dang, you are hardcore. I'm just talking about paper and pen, man.
Paper, how quaint. It's really,
Hey, this is my show.
papers I love. I love paper too. Yeah.
No,
It's malleable.
yeah, exactly. So do we have one more? Do we have a finishing poem, or do you have?
Sure. You want a nice little short one? This,
Go.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can
Okay.
go for a short one. That's fine. Whatever works.
Yeah. So this is my little either sign on or sign off poem sometimes, and it's called Snippets. Although in parens it says these are not, and then snippets the title, and then back in parens this is the whole story. State the business of nature. May I borrow your insignificance? I'll get it right back. I wouldn't try to teach you, please frustrate me. She didn't say no. I didn't ask her. Hold me gently in your contempt. What information do you desire? Call up the talk show. There are words that have no meaning. I use them to talk to you.
Well,
It's so great to watch him, you know. So,
Yeah.
so you have to come to Poets and Film
yes.
to see these performed, because Joe's an amazing performer. He's so
Yeah,
fun to
and
watch.
if you don't like me actually digitally, I'll be set on fire there. So
That's right. That's right.
you get it both ways.
yeah, so sounds
Lots of
great.
visuals.
Sounds great. I mean, I'm really excited about this event. We're going to have you back on the show right before the event happens.
That's right. Thank you, Rachelle. Yeah, and we'll have a larger group of poets to
Good.
share, and so you'll get a slice of everybody.
Nice. And, so those of you listening, audience, you're listening to KKUP Cupertino, 91.5 FM here in the Bay Area and beyond the Bay at kkup.org, where we stream live all the time. This is Poetry Radio. It's the longest running poetry radio show in the United States of America. And we're talking with Kimy Martinez and Joe, who's a poet, who's going to be part of this big poetry thing that's happening at Cinequest, which is really exciting.
March 8th at
March.
7 p.m. Yeah, it's a Thursday night.
Yeah, March
Yeah,
8th.
I believe
Thursday night.
March 8th, 7 p.m., Cinequest. It's going to be in downtown on the corner of...
San Carlos and 2nd Street in below 3 Theater and Lounge.
3 below.
Three below. There you go.
If you have any questions about this event, you can go ahead and give me a call here. I'll be in the studio.